I would not be worried if I was a Padres fan, and I am. I'm talking to you, obviously. Don't be worried, okay? Don't be worried about this. Peter Seidler even said, I think this was during the Xander Bogaerts press conference or after it. He said, our very strong intent, very strong, is to have Manny here for the rest of his career, end quote. Has Peter Seidler lied to us yet? No. He's promised that he's going to keep spending money, and he keeps spending money, right? He wants to win. Well, he's definitely demonstrating that, right? When those Joe Musgrove negotiations were happening, he was telling us that Musgrove was a priority, right? And they were going to get this done. He told me in person at Petco Park that it was just going to take time. Guess what? They did it. It took time, but it got done. This is not, Peter Seidler's not someone that I just hear what he says and, it just goes one ear out the other. He's just saying that to say that to keep his fans happy. Like, no, he doesn't lie, right? And he knows how big of an impact Manny Machado has on this organization, on this city, how valuable he is to the team. So he's not going to let Manny Machado go. That's my feeling. And Manny could test the market. Definitely could. It's his right to opt out. And he'd be dumb to not opt out unless they're like renegotiating and they don't get to the opt-out part. They get an extension done during the season or before this season starts. He'd be dumb to not opt out if they don't get an extension done. Because you're leaving $150+ million on the table, right? I mean, how old was Carlos Correa? And he just got $350 million from the Giants. Let me see Carlos Correa, his age. He's 28. So Manny's like, what, 30? So he won't get 13 years, but let's say he gets 10 years, 11 years. Just play it out to the Bogaerts contract, right? And the AAV for Correa, 350 divided by 15, that's $35 million a year. So let's say Manny sees that and he's like, give me $35 million a year. 35 million times 10, okay. 10 years, $350 million. Restructure it that way. I think Seidler would be willing to do that. Or you do it 11 years, 350, or 12 years, 350, however long Manny's willing to play to lower that AAV. Because Manny, it wouldn't be very smart of him, and Manny's a smart guy. It wouldn't be very smart of him to demand Peter Seidler to give him this really high AAV over this short term, like 9 or 8 years, right? Because then you're kind of handicapping AJ Preller, you know? The highest AAV among third basemen is 38.5, around that, for Anthony Rendon. That contract's not looking good for the Angels. I don't think Manny is going to be looking and saying, I need to get $40 million a year. I need to break Rendon's AAV record. Like, what matters is the total money. Who cares how much millions of dollars you're getting per year, as long as you're getting the most money in total, right? Why does it matter what you're doing per year? I know I'm not saying like they defer it to 2075 or whatever, like they do some contracts, but lower the AAV. Make it till he's 41, 42, if that's what you want to do. As long as Manny's willing to, right? So, don't worry about this. Manny's, I don't see him going elsewhere. I will be shocked that he goes elsewhere.